So maybe you can just smile and wave. I don't know.
You want to film it? Or you are like are you filming or taking picture?
I'm gonna film it. Are you ready? Okay. Hello Sake Geeks, welcome back. It's Dominic here with another episode of Sake Geek. If you're just getting into sake and you want to learn more, or if you're already deep down the rabbit hole and you just can't get enough, please like and subscribe. You have found your tribe. It was about 2010 when I personally had my own Sakepiphany. When I first tried premium sake for the first time, and when I had my eyes open to all of the delicious possibilities that can come from a bottle of sake. And one of the things I would like to do with this channel is to help more people have a Sakepiphany of their own. So this week I selected 3 sakes that have a lot of wine-like qualities to them, and I decided to pop in on my friends at their wine shop in the hopes that they might have a Sakepiphany of their own.
Hi everyone, I'm Leo. I'm one of the owners of Terroir Wine. Terroir Wine is a bottle shop in Taichung, Taiwan. And in France, we do not have a lot of sake there. I tried a few times sake. I tried some earthy one, some floral one, so I'm hoping to learn a little bit more today and try some delicious stuff, and we can compare with wine a little bit. Robin?
I've had the opportunity to do a few tastings with sake. I've worked in beer before, so I kind of wanted to learn how similar or how different the processes were, but I think I like all the minute details of how it's made, but also how that affects the way that it tastes.
Sake for me will sound like yakitori and some sushi and something a little bit warm. A little bit like wine sometimes is for some people, like, oh, I know nothing about wine, wine is super scary. It would be a little bit the same. Sake is, oh, it seems very much more complicated than it looks. It's Japanese and everything in Japan is very well made, so a little bit complicated.
I agree with that. It's very complex. I would look and maybe I see Junmai and I'm like, I've heard of that before. Like, is this one filtered or unfiltered? Is about all I can ask.
Hello Sake Geeks, we are here at Terroir Wine Bar ready to drink some sake with some wine drinkers. The first one is a Junmai Ginjo Moroka Nama Genshu. The brewery is Okidai Kichi Honten in Fukushima Prefecture. This is a non-charcoal filtered, non-diluted or no water added sake, and it's very, very crisp, and it has a very nice acidity that comes from the F7 special Fukushima Prefecture yeast that is used to ferment this sake. Even though it's a very clean sake, there is a lot of complexity to it and a really nice, crisp, fresh aroma. So let's see how they like this one. Bye-bye. Yeah, why not? Bye-bye.
Is it slightly sparkling?
It almost looks as if it is. Yeah, there's little tiny bubbles in there. And it's
we have like
clear.
good alcohol content, like that for me. It's something that for wine will be over 15 degrees for sure. Floral, it's like, I will not say sweet, it's not fruity, it's floral. It's
definitely floral. Yeah.
Like it's like white flower, like maybe
I always get like white flower and pears. That's what I do
pear,
with sake.
obviously pear. It's a little bit acidic, yeah, it will bring a little bit of a wine character to it. Almost what we say in French perlant, when the wine starts to slightly bubble, because probably add a little bit yeast residual and start fermenting, keep fermenting a little bit, and you have a little bit of CO2 inside the wine.
Yeah, I'm getting that on my tongue. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's like alive.
It's wine-like in terms of like complexity and everything, but the profile of the flavor are very far from anything you could have in wine. Like I have like a kind of like candy taste at the end.
It's really clean, but you still feel the alcohol a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
I feel some minerality because I think the acidity brings a little bit minerality. The alcohol is really strong and consistent, and I have a little bit of hazelnut at the end. I think it's really nice. It's very close to wine, in fact. It could be just, if you say it's wine, you will be like, wow, that's a weird wine, but
Yeah.
that's totally something you could just sip in the sofa watching TV. No? It's nice. It's very enjoyable. It's clean.
Very easy to drink. The next sake I would like to try is a sake from Nagano Prefecture from Wakabayashi Jozo. This Junmai Ginjo sake from Ueda City in Nagano Prefecture. It's called Tsukiyoshino. It's a Halloween-themed sake. My theory is that this is sake putting on a costume, and that costume is a sweet white wine. It is very wine-like in the aromatics and flavor profiles. And the Toji of this brewery started brewing sake again at their family brewery in 2017. Her name is Wakabayashi Mami-san, and she started brewing for the first time since 1969. Although the brewery did maintain their license, they were having their sake brewed elsewhere under contract with another brewery. So this is another really special sake I would like to introduce to my friends.
So same, we get like almost totally clear color.
Yeah, this is
slight blue.
Yeah, there's a little kind of haze to it.
Yeah, it definitely has more haze than the last one, I think.
It might be a bit less filtered.
Same as the wine, we have like the legs on you know how it's stay on the
This one is a bit thicker.
Yeah.
A little bit thicker. Oh, much more different. Less alcohol as well.
Yeah.
Heavier, a little bit less green fruit, a little bit more ripe fruit, maybe something like a.
That's an excellent way to put it. Yeah.
I get yellow apples.
And it gets some earthy, like it's autumn right now. If that were the spring, that we are in autumn right now. That's autumn, maybe for Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Very, very different for me. Huh? Very earthy, a little bit nutty, a little bit like pecan nuts for me, and mushroom. Something very earthy, like tree bark or something, or mushrooms. Really autumn flavor.
Something autumnal about it, yeah.
This one is richer. I want to accompany that with something that is flavorful, maybe a little bit of beef and like grilled and yakitori or something like that.
There's more body to this one, and I think there's more sweetness to it.
But no alcohol.
A little more depth. No, hardly.
I mean, no alcohol flavor, like no.
I almost get spice at the end of this. I keep noticing that. I don't know what spice it is. If it's, I
cinnamon.
get something like cinnamon. I don't know if it's
very comforting spices, like nutmeg could be.
The final sake I wanted to share with my friends is a crowd pleaser indeed. In fact, everybody I know who has tried this sake, it always makes a big impact on them. And that sake is the Junmai Ginjo Namazake from Kameizumi in Tosa City in Kochi Prefecture. This sake has tons of personality. The big thing about it for me is the balance between the acidity and the sweetness in this sake. And there's also a very complex aroma coming from the special variety of yeast that they use, which is called Cell 24. This stuff is special, and I saved it for last. So if you're a white wine drinker who likes a more fruity, acidic, but also a sweet and balanced white wine, this sake is really for you. And this is actually a Junmai Ginjo Genshu, and although the alcohol is 14%, basically, rather than ferment the sake up to 19, 20, 21% and then add water to bring it down, they are stopping the fermentation at about 14%. The Toji of this brewery, Saibara-san, he really likes to experiment with a lot of different yeast varieties, but it's probably the Cell 24 variety that is really complex aroma-wise. There's green apple, and there's also a really savory note to this sake, which is really interesting.
Okay.
So these two sakes are both pasteurized once or maybe even twice. This one is not pasteurized. So all of the enzymes in the sake are still alive. So this bottle is changing, probably even since it was open, and the flavor is always kind of evolving. It's also made with a pretty special yeast. The aroma and the acidity in the sake are both like
really clear.
And the bubbles are itsy little teeny tiny ones.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
They're so small, but they're definitely still there. Oh, it smells so different.
It's very
really
different.
aromatic.
Unusual for me.
It just smells like grape must.
For me, it's a little bit like on wine. We could have that on what we call a reduction. You have a natural wine, and the enzyme inside us, the yeast is still alive, and it's still working a little bit inside the bottle, and it makes a very earthy, strong flavor that is the opposite of an oxidation and disappear very quickly when you open the wine. So the wine smells a little bit weird.
Yeah.
And then it goes away in 5 minutes, and after the wine is totally open and nice. And then remind me a little bit of that. It's unusual.
It makes me think of the rhinestone cheese.
Okay. Yeah. There is something. There's a little bit of a little bit funk or like musk or something heavy.
Musky, but in a good way, in a really good way. Like, definitely not in a like.
It kind of goes away.
Actually, when this stuff is fermenting, the aroma changes during the fermentation period, and there's a few days when you smell it, and it's just like you're like, whoa, what is going on there? This is a really, really interesting sake, and I was glad to find this one in Taipei.
See, this to me reminds me more of kanpai. It reminds me more of wine in this case. Like out of all of them, it's got more of the wine-like characteristics.
For me, the big thing about this sake, other than the aroma, which is quite unique, is the sweet sour thing. It's really, it is sweet, but it's also.
It's like a green apple jolly rancher.
Yeah. The nose changed quite a lot since I've had it inside, and I think the kind of reduction flavor we had at the beginning is kind of gone already.
Some of it is still there.
This isn't soapy, but it's meaty.
Not in a bad way.
Oh, it's so good. No, it's like prosciutto. It's that's my favorite thing. I used to work at a cheese shop, and when I would get to open the leg of prosciutto, when we were at the end of the leg of prosciutto, and I'd get to open it, it's just like, I can't wait. It's gonna smell so good.
Savory goodness.
That's umami. That's what I was looking for.
You've got sweet, you've got sour, you've got savory. This is a really interesting sake.
So now you convince me to drink more sake. I already have many vices, but you just add another one.
So my goal was to show you that there's some variety within
Let me try again a little bit. I'm not sure I tried properly.
That one is
How do you open that?
It's really good.
It's really.
Have you never opened a glass cork? Yeah. It's just really interesting.
Yes, so thank you very much for tuning in, and I want to thank Leo for hosting us and Robin for giving us her esteemed opinion about this sake. We filmed this from Leo's wine shop in Taichung City, Taiwan. His wine shop is Terroir, and it's Taichung City's finest wine shop.
Thank you.
And they've got really delicious food too, and what this has turned into is a little bit of a party. We've got some roast beef, some cheese, some cured ham, is it? And some cheese and some walnut. Thank you again for tuning in.
Thank you very much for coming to let us try some new things and learn a little bit more about something we both want to do.
Yes, cheers.
Like I didn't have enough vices.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Kanpai. So as you can see, we had a lot of fun making this video, and it was really exciting for me to turn on some wine drinkers to some new sake and show them that there is more to the world of sake than one might expect. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've had a sake epiphany of your own, I would love to hear about it in the comments section. I will leave the link below for the breweries involved in this tasting, and also a link to Leo's wonderful wine shop in Taichung City, Taiwan, called Terroir Wine. Thank you again, Leo, for making this video. I had a lot of fun, and you taught me a little bit about wine as well, so cheers. I'm Dominic. Thank you for tuning in to Sake Geek. Kanpai.